Going live.
As good as we're going to get it.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Yo, what up, though, people? Goodness gracious, man. Michigan weather.
Oh, man, Khalid.
Michigan weather.
I can hear it in your voice.
Just a little bit, man.
It's Mother Nature's messing with you, too.
You got to welcome the people then.
I'll welcome the people. What up, though? What up, though? This is Wake Up Woodward, courtesy of the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you all for joining us this morning. We got my co-host, Brandon Detroit Kool-Aid Dent. Shout out to our guy Sam Flannel, who will be on Big D Energy this afternoon because Neil Rule is down in Pittsburgh, I believe it is, following the first game of March Madness for the Oakland University Grizzlies. We got JB in the TD booth. JB, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
You doing all right this morning?
I'm doing a lot better than Kool-Aid is right now. I'm sorry, man. That kind of sucks.
It's a struggle. That's all right. That's what I'm here for. You guys might be hearing a lot of my voice today. KG's run into a road problems. He should be here any moment. Right now, you got us three. And we're gonna deal with that, and you guys are gonna love it.
We're gonna rock.
We're gonna rock.
We definitely are.
You feel okay though, right? Your voice.
I feel great. It's just newborn, hardly getting sleep. Slept with the window open, and then Michigan got me, bro.
Like Michigan got you.
I feel like Brady Hoke. Like, this is Michigan.
You feel like who?
Brady Hoke.
Oh, Brady Hoke.
Like,
yeah.
This is Michigan.
That was my era of college football. I was lucky enough to have Rich Rod and Brady Hoke as I was at Michigan 2008 to 2012. Not the best era of Michigan football. I did get Denard Robinson, Tate Forcier, my guy Roy Roundtree. It was a blast. We do have some Michigan news for you. We're going to go around the city, talk about everything that happened last night. There was a decently big game that happened at LCA. A nice little hockey game with the local team down there. We're going to talk Lions. Colin Cowherd had some comments. I want to get the feeling of a room. I feel a lot on social media on both sides of it. I'm excited to revisit this, the unfortunate NFC Championship game, but the entire last season, some coaching decisions out of Dan Campbell. We're going to be playing Peaks and Cheeks. We're going to be talking about the NFC free agency, and we're going to work that into that NFC free agency edition of Peaks and Cheeks.
Are you a Peaks man or a Cheeks man?
I mean, for this, I prefer the Peaks. Normally, I prefer the Cheeks. But we'll see the competitors to the Detroit Lions this upcoming season. We'll see how they've done in free agency. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of Cheeks. If you're a Cheeks man, this is the segment for you.
And you know what? Before we get around the city, people. The one thing I will exclaim, you guys are the biggest part of this show. Go on ahead and smash that like button, please. At least for me.
Do it for Kool-Aid and his voice.
Better.
The more likes, the more your voice starts coming out.
Yeah.
I love that. Shout out to all you. Vincent Ellis in the second. John effing Lord. I saw Chef Talks Lions in the chat today. Shout out Chef for being on the show yesterday. We're so pumped to highlight Chef and you guys in the chat. We got Steve-O, baby. Anakin Sky Ogre, the ski mask boy. I love it. Oh, Freddie fell through and three. Vincent Ellison, I think I already said your name. Dan Wood, I appreciate y'all being here. Cordell Walker. Let's start going around the city. Get used to my voice a little bit here. Kool-Aid. KG should be here in a minute. But Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
And JB, last night. The Red Wings finally turned things around. Weezy D through and three says, Kool-Aid sounds like 05 Jeezy. He's a go-getter.
In my city.
Let's
I can't use my ad-libs.
That was my era. What?
I can't use my ad-libs.
I can't hear you.
Hey. Let's rock, man.
I forgot. Jeezy had some jams. The Red Wings won 4-3. It was looking ugly. First period, they went down 2-0 real quick, and it was looking like it was going to be just another one of these losses on the string since the priority patch was put on the sweater, I should say. But no, led by Lucas Raymond. I'm going to shout Lucas Raymond out. He didn't have the OT goal, but that was the man who led this team back to victory. Whatever Derek Lalone said after the first period, it made a difference because they came out in the second firing, tied the game up real quick, took it into overtime. Lucas Raymond, I believe it was 12 seconds left in the game. He scores to tie it at 3, send it to overtime, and then Patrick Kane does what he does. The Candy Caner puts it top shelf, Speaking of Jeezy, was that Jeezy? I like my beat down low, down low.
That was T.I.
That was T.I. They had some collaborations.
Yeah.
They must have.
I know we're going to talk about Red Wings a little bit more in that second segment. They got a new patch that we put on the jersey.
They did?
We'll have to see it in the second segment. It's the reason why they won.
Oh, okay.
You'll see.
You're teasing me, Kool-Aid. You're teasing me. Tigers, an arousing 0-0 tie yesterday. Yeah, I said that. 0-0 tie to the Phillies. This happens in spring training. They don't play extra innings. The pitching staff looked very, very good. We got to see Jack Flaherty, likely going to be the Tigers' number 2 or number 3 pitcher to open the season. 2 or 3 pitcher in the starting rotation to open the season. He went 4 innings pitched. Let me make sure I get my notes. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He looked sharp. He looked like he's ready to go. The season's 7 days away. It's the 20th, 8 days away. The season's about to kick off. He'll be going that's likely that second game of the series against the White Sox. The bullpen looks sharp. Shelby Miller, Alex Lange, Andrew Chafin, and Tyler Holton all had 1 inning pitch, 0 hits, 0 walks. Alex Lange had 9 in his inning. This was the inning I watched the closest. 12 pitches, 9 strikes, which is good to see out of Alex Lange. And he had 4 of his strikes were whiffs, were swing over. That's a closer like that. We want to see him not only throwing strikes, we want to see some whiffs. Yeah. We want to see those guys swing over his nasty changeup and be late on his fastball that can reach a hundo.
You know what? Shout out to Vin in the chat. He said,
what?
I never noticed this before.
Uh-oh.
Verlander and Kool-Aid, appreciate y'all.
Let's go.
I see it.
I've gotten that before. I had not often. I get Michael Phelps a lot. Back when I was at Michigan, I was wearing we would go on trips. We'd be wearing our Michigan jumpsuits, and that was the time Phelps was kind of popular. It was a couple years after winning, 12 gold medal, 11 or 12 gold medals at Olympics. And he would wear a lot of Michigan gear because he would train up at the Michigan swimming pool or natatorium, whatever they call it. I would get Phelps a lot. Do I look like Michael Phelps? Minus the bong.
You know what? Just because you're my brother, I think you're a little bit more handsome than Michael Phelps.
Dude, you hyping me up even today?
It is what it is, man. This is Mr. Matthew Broder right here, bro.
This is my dog.
Hey, let's rock.
I hope all of you, I think I said this earlier in the season, earlier in our show a couple weeks ago. I hope you all get a chance one day in your life to work with Kool-Aid because he will make you feel very, very good about yourself.
Hey, man, you guys earn it, though. You go out there and you guys work hard. You just do. You, JB, KG, the whole crew. If there's anything that I can say today with my voice, it's going to be to make sure the chat knows how special they are to us and how special this crew is.
You're a dog. I'm going to rely on you to follow the chat since I'm going to be ranting here. If there's anything someone says is funny, you cut me off anytime you want. Anytime. The Pistons.
Hold it down, man.
We're talking to Rod Beard. I don't think I mentioned that in the rundown. At 8:45, we're talking all Detroit sports with Rod, and then at 9 o'clock, it's our Woodward Pistons section. We're going to talk a little bit of Pistons as they head down this final stretch of the season. Their next game is home tonight against the Pacers. The Malice at the Little Caesars Arena. We'll see. Michigan football. Let's continue around the city, going over to Ann Arbor. We're going to talk Michigan State tomorrow, by the way, with Griffin Lackey, one of our sales guys who knows just about everything you can about Michigan State basketball. But on the football end in Ann Arbor yesterday, they announced a new coach. Last week, I believe it was last week, they hired Tony Alford as a running backs coach and run game coordinator. They hired him away from Ohio State, where he'd been the last 8 years. That was cool. But yesterday, Pernell McPhee, former linebacker, NFL linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, most of his career. He played linebacker at Mississippi State, from Pahokee, Florida. Went to the same high school as Janoris Jenkins. He is now hired as a defensive special assistant on Wink Martindale's staff up in Ann Arbor for the University of Michigan football team. I haven't done a ton of research into what this all means, but my first reaction, and JB, I just want to I'm not expecting you to know about this signing, but it looks to me like Wink Martindale, Sharon Moore, the head coach at Michigan, is taking a page out of the Detroit Lions book and hiring some former players to come teach that NFL style of football to this college defense, to this University of Michigan defense? You getting some similar vibes with some of these coaches they're hiring?
I mean, I can see the similarities that you're trying to put together, especially with the teams. And I think it's kind of comforting for him to bring these players along to kind of teach everyone, just so that they know exactly what they're getting into. So I can kind of see that. I can see it.
Yeah, fun fact, too. Pernell McPhee, he was part of that 2013 Ravens team that defeated Jim Harbaugh in the Super Bowl when John and the Ravens beat Jim and the 49ers in the 2013 Super Bowl. A little fun fact there.
I still remember that Super Bowl, too.
Right?
Didn't the lights go out in that Super Bowl?
Was that the one in New Orleans?
I think so.
Chat. This is where we need our chat. Was that 2013 Ravens 49ers? Was that in New Orleans where the lights went out and turned everything around?
Yeah, like halftime or something like that. And next thing you know, it was like a 40-minute delay. I can't remember.
Yeah, interesting. Sean Payton, actually, he's coming up in the next segment because there's some drama that could be brewing.
Yeah, and you know what, though, just before we move on from Michigan football, one of the things that we pondered on this show was, is Sharon Moore, is he the type of guy that can go out there and do what we saw Harbaugh did and bring in these names, bring in these NFL connections, bring in these people on his staff and within his position groups that can help to elevate things. Yeah. And in the last, 2 weeks, he's went and gotten a coach from OSU and a coach from the NFL.
Yeah. He's building something.
Yep.
And it's not like there's the best PR coming out of Ann Arbor. There was some, I forget his name. One of the coaches had recently got arrested. There have been some basketball players entering the transfer portal. So there's a bit of chaos in Ann Arbor. Maybe Warden Manuel's possibly on the hot seat. Today we're talking the football team. You're right. They're adding Pernell McPhee, who actually played for Wink Martindale on that Ravens defense from 2019 to 2021. So we saw Mike McDonald build up and Jesse Minter build up this NFL-style defense for at least a year, for at least as Wink Martindale's there. They're going to try to continue to build up that Michigan defense. They got the players for this season. There's a plethora that stayed in Ann Arbor, so they should have a very talented defense. The question marks are going to be on offense. Who is the quarterback in Ann Arbor? Well, we will see. Speaking of quarterback, though, Kool-Aid, did you watch the Netflix series Quarterback that featured Kirk Cousins, Marcus Mariota, Patrick Mahomes, and that might have been it. Might have been one more, but did you see it? Or JB, you see it?
Yeah, I seen it.
You know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's going to be on Receiver. Netflix is making we'll call it a sequel to Quarterback called Receiver. They were following Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle this past 2023 season. There were cameras in Allen Park all throughout the season. Couldn't really say anything about it, but Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be featured on a Receiver edition of this show. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I liked the quarterback series. I thought the choices were a little boring. Marcus Mariota was not super exciting to me. Kirk Cousins isn't an exciting person. I actually liked parts of his feature on quarterback because he does so much mental work. It's preparing for the week. He took a beating in the 2022 season, so it's all about his week leading up to the next game and how he recovered. I do enjoy that stuff. He's a little vanilla to me, but he and his
a little.
Actually, I'm going to pull back and say maybe he's not the GOAT and his agent's not the GOAT. There's some drama taking place down in Atlanta, but Kirk Cousins has secured a bag. Patrick Mahomes I did like. I'm not a huge fan of his wife and that part of the show, but it was cool to see what he and the Chiefs, how that culture has been built under Andy Reid, how they put in creative plays. It was cool to see that behind the scenes. I'm excited to see the receivers, the divas.
And you know what? Shout out to you, too. Everywhere that I see this thing kind of being promoted, why is Amon-Ra's name last?
Right.
Shout out to you putting his name first.
Always number one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, number one.
Oh, yeah.
He's last in this group in terms of where he was drafted, 4th round, 16 receivers ahead of him. JB, are there any of these 5 that you're interested in that stand out other than Amon-Ra St. Brown? We got, again, Justin Jefferson of the Vikings, Devontae Adams, his season with the Raiders, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, a tight end, both on the 49ers.
Probably Devontae Adams. I just kind of want to see the ups and downs that he kind of went through over there in Vegas with the new Raiders and everything that's going on. But going back to quarterbacks, I enjoyed the show, but as you can tell, like once the season was like going on a little bit further, they started to cut out all the other QBs and then just mainly focus on Patrick Mahomes, which it's okay for the show, but it's kind of like you want to see what else happened to them in the rest of this season. I know they were winning a lot, but still at the same time, you kind of want to know what happened. You just don't want to focus solely on Patrick Mahomes.
Yo, look, I'm interested in Justin Jefferson. You know why?
Why?
That conversation he had post-Lions game.
You think there's some sound on that?
You know what? If there's any chance, let it get out there. I'm still trying to figure out what he was saying. What was it, Amon-Ra?
Yeah, was it like come get me?
Come get me, dog.
Come get me, dog.
Yeah.
Come get me, dog. That's an expensive come get me. He
You
might
know
be
what?
$35 million a year.
Well, with the moves that Brad Holmes has been cooking
Drop the
up,
bag.
they definitely got a little bit of bread.
It feels like we're signing a player, and then all of a sudden, we have more money. We as in the Lions. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The numbers that continue to come out about DJ Reader, his contract, closer to $21 million for 2 years. We got Carlton Davis restructuring his contract. And then Zietler, who we estimated, our show yesterday was before the contract details were revealed. We thought it was going to be between like maybe 10, 11, 12, $13 million.
Talk about it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $6 million.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There might be a few more, little more guarantees in it. I haven't
okay.
checked this morning, but $6 million. $6 million.
Bro,
Steal.
and how much did Ragnow get?
Ragnow got a bag, but Glasgow got
I'm sorry.
3
Glasgow.
years for 20, so he got about 6.66666.
Yeah.
Add that together, you got about 12.5, 13 mil.
Yeah, and when you look around the league at some of these offensive line players, man, they were getting the absolute bag. When free agency started, we talked about it. A lot of these guys are getting paid. And people were like, yo, what is Brad Holmes doing when he didn't just jump right away? Now we see what he was doing. Not only did he get the guys that we believe are making these position groups in the trenches that much more elite, but he didn't pay them that much at all. He's getting like 2 and 3 of these players for the price of what a lot of these defensive line and offensive line players are getting from their respective teams they signed for. It's Brad Holmes doing what Brad Holmes does.
Yeah, you make the decision, as great as Jonah Jackson was to build the foundation of this Lions offensive line, this team, being a part of it. We got to give Jonah Jackson props. And good for him for going and getting his bag. He got 3 years, $51 million, so he's making $17 million a year. Graham Glasgow, Kevin Zietler, 2 veteran, versatile guards to play next to Frank Ragnow, in between Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell. Combined, 12.5, 13 mil.
And not just versatile. You put out a tweet yesterday that actually got picked up by the circuit as well. It's not just the versatility of Kevin Zietler in this new offensive line. It's also the health of it as well. How many games these people will play. Is Jonah Jackson worth the money? As long as he's playing.
As long as he's playing.
Do you have those similar concerns now with this current offensive line, though?
You know, I was thinking about it, so I decided to ask Kevin Zietler that during his press conference yesterday, and we're going to play that for you when we come back.
My God.
But first, let me tell you about Planet Fitness, because it's home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on that fitness goals. And JB Kool-Aid, we're going to be unmuted for this break, so I'm just warning you in the middle of this ad read. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. We were at the Planet Fitness of Redford yesterday with Kylie and her team. It was an incredible experience. We had a lot of fun. I got to tune into the later shows in the day. Heavyweights were here in studio, but Big D, Armani, and Edwards, they were out at Planet Fitness of Redford. Incredible hosts, incredible partners, incredible sponsors. We're here in the Planet Fitness studio. Let's go. You can go work out for $10 a month with no commitment. If you want all the accessories, all the extra things, for $24.99, you can get a black card. You get access to the Hydro Massage, the massage chair, the tanning salon, all of it. Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone where your fitness is essential.
Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports Clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They have the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Go check them out on Woodward Avenue, just south the 9 Mile Road. You can also check them out at LesStanford.com. That's Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. What up, dope people? I get to do that this time. We are back. This is Wake Up Woodward. You got me. You got Kool-Aid. Going to get a little tea. He's stopping over at Roast Coffee, the best coffee in town, I got to say. Shout out to Roast. Shout out to Jesse and team over there. Lydia running her team. Roast is the bomb. We got KG in the sound booth. He's here. I'll come to you in a minute. Feel free to get settled while Kool-Aid's getting his tea. And we got JB. But everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here on a Wednesday. We are back in the Planet Fitness studio. We got a lot to talk about. And we got Rod coming up at 8:45. Rod Beard, that is the a sports editor-in-chief at the Detroit News. He's coming up. But what we teased before break, we told you, I got to ask Kevin Zietler, and what Kool-Aid brought up, the Lions, not only saved money or were financially savvy. I used the word savvy in a tweet earlier this week. Brett Holmes and Mike Disner and this team, they've had a savvy free agency, specifically around these offensive linemen. Not only with the guys they've re-signed, but also signing veteran, versatile guard / center Graham Glasgow to a 3-year, $20 million contract. And now Kevin Zietler from the Ravens, a 12-year veteran, a guy who plays nearly every snap. This is money well spent. This is how you do it. So I got a chance to ask Kevin Zietler, what does that health and being available to your team mean to you?
Hey, Kevin, welcome to Detroit. I know you played with many great linemen, one of which is Joe Thomas, who seems to never miss any games. You seem to be following in those footsteps. What does being healthy and keeping your body healthy and being available to the team mean to you? How much pride do you take in that?
Oh, it's everything. The biggest, thing you can contribute to this league is availability. No one cares why you're not on the field. You need to be out on the field. So luckily I've had a great body team, great trainers throughout all the way from the start of my career that taught me great habits that I've for the most part, I've been lucky enough to avoid anything major and stay healthy and keep moving and keep going.
Oh, it's everything. How much pride do you take in staying healthy and being available to your team? Oh, it's everything. That's what football is about, he says. And I'm not going to throw shade at Jonah Jackson. There were some injury concerns, or at least injury concerns at $17 million a year. This is a guy who's not only a veteran, played with Baltimore, played with Cleveland, played, I believe, with Cincinnati. Yeah. But he spent most of the last part of his career blocking for Lamar Jackson and the number one rush offense in the league. Kevin Zietler's coming in playing more than 15 games in each of the last 9 seasons. Since he was drafted into the NFL in 2012, he's played more snaps than any offensive lineman in the entire league. This is what we're getting in the newest signing from Mr. Brad Holmes. Play right guard in between Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell on the left side. Graham Glasgow will be your left guard and be able to fill in, back up Frank Ragnow should he need a game off. Should he need a practice off, we got Graham Glasgow to fill in. But what this move does, it allows Brad Holmes to do whatever he wants in the draft. So, KG, I'm going to come to you first, say good morning.
Good morning.
And then say, do these comments from Kevin Zietler, just talking about how serious he takes his health and being available to his team, whether he's injured or banged up.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It means everything, man. You're talking about a guy that missed 9 games and I think 10 seasons of football. He plays almost close to 1,000 snaps every season. That's something we absolutely need. The best ability is availability.
Yes, sir.
I know we always say that it's cliche, but it's absolutely the truth. And just look at what we struggle with Jonah Jackson. That is null and void now. We got somebody that's reliable, somebody that's always going to be in the lineup. And then when you look at the type of player he is, a better pass blocker than Jonah Jackson ever really was. Better than Grant Glasgow too, if you want to put it plainly. But that's the type of availability and reliability that this team needs going forward.
Yeah, it's great to see. You put in this a complicated Hank Fraley offensive line scheme, a pretty complicated offense from Ben Johnson. If they weren't going to go assume that they're getting an offensive line in the first round, someone that can come and step in day one and be able to handle that position, that workload, just the football IQ side of being an offensive lineman in the NFL, you go out and you get a veteran on a 1-year contract to bridge that gap. Still allows you to draft an offensive lineman in the first round, but now you have that trust and that reliability, someone who's played with a ton of different players and coaches, so he'll be able to adapt to this scheme. We were just talking about Kevin Zietler and how many games he plays or how many games he does not miss, or the lack of games he misses. But there's a former NFC North quarterback that has changed teams but seems to be or has the possibility of haunting the Detroit Lions from the ATL. Have you guys heard of the tampering investigation going on with the Falcons and Kirk Cousins, Ryan Pace, Darnell Mooney?
Yeah, they were talking to him too early, right? Before free agency period.
Yeah.
Really?
Kool-Aid JB, is this news to you?
Yeah, you know what? I had heard something about it, but when you kind of put it the way you did in the show prep, I was just like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. This could have implications for our NFC North teams, especially our Detroit Lions.
Yes. Kirk Cousins, if you guys remember, he just signed a 4-year, $180 million deal, $100 million guaranteed with the Atlanta Falcons. What everyone seems to be a good move, at least for Atlanta. But coming off a torn Achilles, you got to imagine there were medical concerns, maybe questions that the medical staff wanted to learn about Kirk Cousins and his Achilles and his health. But there are certain rules that you got to follow in terms of when the league season officially opens, the legal tampering period, the official start to free agency. The questions that the NFL is now investigating: did team officials communicate with Cousins before the start of the 52-hour negotiating window? Did Cousins provide any medical information to the Falcons before that window? Then part two to this, did Kyle Pitts or any Falcons players, were they actively recruiting Cousins before free agency began? And then vice versa, once Cousins made his decision or decided he was thinking about the Falcons, was he recruiting anybody? And it seems like they may be in violation of all of these.
Oh, my God.
Of all of these. In Kirk Cousins' press conference, which was about 2.5 hours after the open to free agency, he made some comments talking about the first one. He said in his press conference, you look around and you think, boy, there's great people here, Cousins said. And it's not just the football team. I mean, I'm looking at the support staff meeting, calling our head athletic trainer, talking to our head of PR. I'm thinking, we got good people here. He said meeting first.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pulled back. And openly admitted to talking to this medical team, this staff. That's pretty blatant right there, KG.
Not goody two-shoes Kirk Cousins, man.
Right?
Come on now.
Coles cast Cousins?
Right.
You know
Come
what,
on
man?
now.
When Tom Brady was the GOAT of winning, Kirk Cousins is the GOAT of getting the bag, bro. Straight up.
He is.
He is.
But we can't like him right now because
Oh,
he
heck
might.
no, I don't.
He might be giving a present to his old family, the Vikings. The last two things, real quick. Earlier in free agency, Kyle Pitts. Cousins says Pitts was the first player to reach out to him a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
A few weeks ago, and then Cousins' press conference. Oh, so he called speaking out to the Falcons athletic trainer. He mentions talking to the director of player personnel, Ryan Pace, and then he openly admitted to his conversations in recruiting Darnell Mooney, wide receiver from the Chicago Bears, who signed with the Falcons. So,
Jesus.
while all of this doesn't seem like, I mean, who really cares?
Right.
There's no unfair advantage. Kirk Cousins is a good signing with Atlanta. I could care less about Darnell Mooney. Kyle Pitts, you got to show us something next year. But the key to this all, there is a chance, it hasn't happened yet in the NFL, there's a chance that one part of the penalty of these tamperings, if they find it to be aggressive in nature, is that they have to transfer their pick their first-round pick from the team that Kirk Cousins came from, the Minnesota Vikings. That means the number 8 pick in the NFL draft. The Vikings currently have number 11 and number 23 after a trade with Houston. They could end up getting number 8 from Atlanta.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
How do you think that makes the Lions feel? Number 8? We're talking some of the best still available on this board. This is – I have a hard time believing it may go that far since it hasn't yet. But if you guys remember, in past years or past tampering – penalties, the most recent one happened in Miami.
Yeah.
When the Dolphins were trying to recruit or were found guilty of actively recruiting, tampering with Tom Brady and Sean Payton, trying to get them both to South Beach a few years ago. It cost them a 2023 first-round pick and a 2024 third-round pick.
Wow.
They didn't pull any transfer of picks from the former team. There's more complicated language in the tampering rules. But that cost them a couple years back. Jeremy Maclin to the Chiefs cost them 2 picks, cost them $500,000 fine. But the fact that this could happen, not only could the Falcons just lose out on their draft pick, it might just get pulled and not given to Minnesota. But I thought this was really interesting for Detroit Lions fans. Man, if they got the number 8 pick, that's talk
crazy.
About being able to rebuild your team quickly.
Yeah, 3 first-round picks. That's insane. I mean, you would hope that it doesn't happen like that. I mean, I like Kirk Cousins having a scandal on them, call me a hater. But you would hope that the Vikings don't get number 8 to go along with the 2 picks they already have. So that almost guarantees a quarterback. And whatever the hell else they really want to do in the draft, like they would have no limitations.
We were already talking about them using these 2 picks, the Houston trade that they got 23, now facilitating a move higher in the draft to go get their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, or someone they're targeting. Now, technically, they could still do that and still have a top 10, a top 11, or a top 25 pick.
They can take the 2 first and really move up,
right?
If you want to be real. They can get in the top 3 if they want to. So
just popped into my head.
Man.
And this will be complicated, probably won't ever happen because it's in division. But do you think they'd throw all that on the table for Caleb Williams? Like, hey, Bears, you want 3 first-round picks this year?
That'd be crazy.
And I don't know the finances of it all.
Yeah. The Bears have done it before, but the Vikings, that'd be crazy for them.
You talk about the whole division kind of trying to really take this step forward. And you know what? It's not just the NFC North. The Falcons got Kirk Cousins. They're going to be potentially a better team than they were this previous season. And then you're talking about the Vikings with the potential to get enriched. And then if they want to flip that to the Chicago Bears, it's like, yo, this is you talking about domino effects, man. But I'm not even really worried, man. With what the Detroit Lions are doing, I feel as if a lot of teams out there are reacting to them and trying to figure out how can they counteract Detroit Lions' strengths rather than them themselves going out and saying, you know what, we'll create our own strengths.
Yeah. That's
what I've absolutely loved about Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and this Detroit Lions kind of not restore, but this building up, this foundation. And now they're the big dogs on the block because they've always had this mindset of, we don't care about what other people are doing. We are going to be the ones that are sitting on your front porch. You don't got to go looking for us. We're right there.
Yeah.
And that's what I absolutely love about this. Is like, you know what? You think about it like, yo, the NFC North could get a little bit more tough here. But I don't really care. And why? Because of what the Lions are doing right now, and it's beautiful. Hey, shout out Birmingham Roast.
Mike T says, Kool-Aid sounds like Ed Orgeron. I don't know where he's at now. He coached at LSU.
Probably at home right now, if anything.
Yeah, probably getting paid. Probably getting paid. Hey, that raspy voice.
Hey, you know what? I got to do a rap album while I got this raspy voice.
Do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If Kanye can record one while his mouth is wired shut, you can do it while you lost your voice.
Let's rock.
That's one of my favorite albums, by the way.
We got to put down the track, bro.
We do. I was a artist in my past life, so a lot of people don't know that. So,
hey, let's rock. And I'm a producer.
Hey,
we got to make that work.
Let's go. Let's go. You
and
talked about the match
on there too.
Oh, I'm there.
Let's go.
I'm there. We talked about teams wanting to mimic the Lions and their, dare I say, where's this quote? Dare I say, the Lions who are maintaining the alpha and the toughness and the aggressiveness, ... There's part of this quote I'm going to finish up when we get back. A national media member making some comments about Dan Campbell and the Lions I want to ask you guys about when we get back. But first, let me tell you about Dispo, because Dispo Dispensary. If you visit Dispo Dispensary today, March Madness is officially here, and Dispo is giving away $1,000 to the best bracket at each location. Battle Creek, Romeo, Whitmore Lake, Hazel Park, Bay City, North and South, and their Ann Arbor location. So go get your blank brackets now, fill them out, and return them by Sunday, March 24th to decide who has the breast back bracket of the year.
Come on, man.
You get a chance to win $1,000. So head to Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
I like titties.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
When it comes to chicken sandwiches, I got the sleeper for you. You're filling out your brackets today. You're finishing them up. Here's a Cinderella for you to pick. It's a Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich. Guess what? It is delicious. It's crispy. They got pickles. They got lettuce, onions, anything you want on it. It is delicious. You know what, too? You can try the Chicken Shack sandwich for free with a $10 purchase. With a $10 purchase, you get a free Chicken Shack sandwich. Grab a shake, grab some crispy crinkle fries, and your Chicken Shack chicken sandwich will be free. Just use the code Woodward at Chicken Shack. You can do it in person, online, or download the Shake Shack app today. What up, though, Woodward? What up, though?
What up, though? I can't do it.
No, you're good. Hey, keep it in. KG, can I get a what up, dough from you?
What up, dough?
What up, dough?
Hey, but you know what I will do this? Chat family, smash that like button. You guys are a huge part of this show, and we appreciate your support always. And go get you a free chicken sandwich.
Damn right.
About to say, smash that like button. And this this crispy chicken sandwich, this looks too good. We appreciate y'all for being here. We got Rod Beard, sports editor-in-chief at Detroit News, coming up soon.
Yes, sir.
But guys, I got to tell you, I got to ask you about someone I'm actually a fan of. I know I saw a lot of negative or a lot of comments about this personality. There aren't as many fans of him as I thought, but Colin Cowherd had some comments to say about Dan Campbell, about the Lions yesterday or earlier this week. He came out and he said, awesome, you got that up. He says, what you hope as the Lions fan is that you can maintain the alpha and the toughness and the aggressiveness, but ditch the recklessness. So this is a comment saying that the Detroit Lions, they could have been Super Bowl bound. They could be higher up in the rankings, competing across the NFL if Dan Campbell made smarter decisions, wasn't as reckless with his decision makings.
Man.
So I want to ask you first, does he have a point? What's your opinion? Kool-Aid, I'll come to you if you're able.
I'm kind of glad that today I'm kind of forced to be less energetic because I wanted to come in here and be heated. But the more and more I think about it, I understand his point. But a lot of these people before the season didn't believe that the Lions would get to where they did get to. And when you take this into effect that this team got there because of the coaching of Dan Campbell, I don't know how much you can turn down or turn up what he does and that the formula and everything and the results stay the same. There's a lot of people who before the season, like Colin Cowherd, did not think that this team was destined or primed to get to where they got. They did. You can't afterwards start saying, you know what, let's kind of quarterback this thing, Monday morning quarterback this thing. It's either Dan Campbell was a big part of the reason why they got to the NFC the NFC Championship or not. The recklessness, we've all talked about it. Do we want him to go and kick these field goals? We probably did. But we know that the reason why they got to where they got was due to, in part, some of this recklessness that people talk about. It's who he is. It's just in his coaching vein, and the players have all talked about it all year. They feel like their coach believes in them even more when he decides to make these decisions that the outside media calls reckless. I'm hoping that this team has something in play for this following season that, like KG has said, when you're in big spots, when you're in these big moments, especially with a chance to go to the Super Bowl, that you have something that is a little bit more foundationally stable rather than, going out there and taking what most people would call a risk.
Yeah.
So
I personally, I don't have a problem with the comments at all. I get what he's saying, and it didn't feel like a shot at Dan Campbell, which some people took it as. He was aggressive. I consider his calls, especially in 2023, closer to aggressive than reckless. I think they were somewhat calculated. Whether all of them were the right call or not, we could break down each one. But for the most part, I consider them overly aggressive and not reckless. And KG, I would also consider some of the calls he made in 2021 and 2022 reckless.
Right.
And I think he had to do it because the team just wasn't as good. The defense, there was nothing to lose.
That's true.
There was nothing to lose. But this, in terms of the 2023 season, KG, do you consider it reckless? Do you consider should the Lions do things differently next year?
Well, no. I'll start by saying I agree with Colin Cowherd 100%. And he's not normally a Lions basher. I've watched a lot of Colin. He's normally in support of us and the things that we do, so I didn't take this as a shot. But this is everything I was saying right after that NFC Championship game. Yes, we want him to be Dan Campbell. Two things can be true. We want you to be Dan Campbell, but in certain moments of the game, you have to be able to read the situation, read the room, and react accordingly. And that's something that Dan Campbell has struggled to work through in certain situations. Like, I can go back to the Cowboys game. Some of those calls toward the end might have been out of emotion. I understand the game was on the line, but you did have a chance to square the game, go to overtime. He chose to not do that. Okay, fine. That was the regular season. Then it reeks its head in the NFC Championship game. And I know we always talk about the Josh Reynolds play. That was the first fourth down. Okay, if you want to say that affected the game, perfectly fine. Okay. To me, what was the most egregious, or not egregious, but just something I felt he should have thought more through, was the second fourth down where you were down 3. The momentum was absolutely gone, and a field goal could have kept you in the game, and then when you scored the touchdown at the end, could have possibly tied the game. So it's just those moments right there. Like, he reacts out of emotion a lot, especially when the game is on the line and things get tight and things get close. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but as an NFL coach, you have to be able to discern these situations. You're not going to get all of them right, but I do feel like Colin Cowherd's words are like spot on. Be Dan Campbell, but just be a tad bit smarter and have a little bit better discernment in certain situations.
You know what?
No. Go ahead. I see you reading some chats.
Yeah. David Tourette's, he's saying this, though, that selecting to go for the field goal doesn't mean that you're going to make it. And
that's
that
true.
The kicker that they did have, the numbers were on Dan's side and supported him with going for it on fourth down rather than trying to rely on the kicker. I do wonder how much of that factored into his decision-making. And if they had a kicker that they could rely on, I wonder what decisions he would have made in those spots.
And I can understand that, but also Michael Badgley was pretty good in the postseason. Yeah. So, and he hit a 54-yarder in the Buccaneers' crucial playoff game. So, I think, was it the Buccaneers or the Rams game? I can't remember, but he hit a 54-yarder in one of them. But
the Rams.
So, I mean, yeah, you could have missed it. There's always the other side of the coin. He could have went to overtime with the Cowboys and lost. There's always the...
Josh Reynolds could have caught the ball on 4th and 2.
Exactly. There's always the other side. But like I said, I just want my coach to leave it all on the table, but also be making the smartest decisions possible. So,
yeah.
And I don't think that's too much to ask. He's improved every year, so I don't think that's too much to ask.
That's the key.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's the key. JB, if he wasn't learning from the mistakes or the recklessness in 2021 and 2022, what's to believe he's not going to learn from some of these decisions? Whether he makes the same ones or a similar decision again, at least he's looking back on this and learning from it. He's studying this so he's ready, more prepared next time.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I think he's looking back on some of the decisions that he's made, and it's just like, all right, I won't make that same mistake again. I know where we stand as a team and on this field with this opposing team, and knows to make the right and smarter decisions next time when it happens. Now, for this quote that Colin Cowherd said, I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of his show. I'm just not a fan of him at all as a ESPN person, or FS1 personality, if you say.
National media.
National media. I just don't care for him at all. And that quote, I don't know if I somewhat take offense to it. Just to be honest, it's like saying that we can't maintain the alphaness that we've had in the NFC North or in the NFC period and still be the top dog. It's like, hey, Dan Campbell, we want you to be yourself, as KG has said multiple times, but we just want you to be just a little bit smarter when it comes to these certain decisions, which I think he has grown and learned in previous games.
Yeah, and he's even said as much, like in the draft press conferences.
Yeah,
he said that he did regret the fourth down where he ran the ball on third down and cost the timeout at the end of the game.
That's the one.
Yeah, he even said he regretted that call. Now I felt like he should have regretted the field goal as well.
Yeah.
But I understand, like you said, heat of the moment, things happen. You're not gonna get them 100% right all the time. But in big stakes games, we just want to see a little bit more improvement. That's it. Maintain the alpha. Like he said, don't lose being yourself. Two things can be true. You can be the alpha and also be smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
It appears that he doesn't think those fourth down calls were reckless on his. Like, he regrets the one at the goal line right at the end of the game where they rushed it on third down. They end up getting the touchdown, the Jamison Williams catch in the back of the end zone on fourth down. But it was that forced them to kick an onside kick versus allowing the 49ers, or versus having enough timeouts. They had to burn a timeout because they run. Having enough timeouts to then kick off, trust your defense to stop.
And there were so many other things in that game that I believe when you kind of just put them all down on the paper, the ones that had the most percentage to actually work out for them were those fourth down calls. When you look at the pass off of Vildor's face mask.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the different just things, the way that the defense kind of went non-existent in that second half, there were so many other things that when you're going through and you have your game plan and you're trying to say, you know what we're going to do, we're going to stick to our identity, you usually do that irregardless of the mistakes you do make or the good plays that you do have. And so I do believe that there's a lot of Dan Campbell that really stuck to the script, but to what you were saying, sometimes with these big moments, with an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl, not an opportunity to just say, you know what, we can clean this up in the next week.
Right.
Sometimes you want to probably see them make a different decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cordell, I see you in here. Let us call in. We're going to have Rod on here in a few minutes, but call in and we'll take your calls at 9:15 and later for the rest of the show. Again, the number is 313-552-6322. We're going to get to Rod, but I'd love to continue this conversation. If you have a differing opinion, let's talk about it. And JB, before we get to Rod, I just want to say I appreciate your perspective on Colin Cowherd, keeping me, who is more of a fan of his, understanding what it might come off as from someone who isn't a fan. You took more offense to it than I did. I appreciate that. I'm interested in how others would view that, because it doesn't seem to me like it's a jab. It just seemed like it's an opinion, but it might be more of a jab to you.
I mean, I'm not too sure. I just feel like he has always not cared for the Lions and basically like the city and sports teams that we have here as well too. So it might just be me. It might just be my opinion of the guy, but I just feel like he just does not care for the Lions at all, and just wishes that we would kind of just fall off a cliff or something,
Yeah. He's a national media. I think it was just a fan, it's all about getting clicks, and yes, that is part of it to the national media.
Yeah.
I read that quote differently than I read Mike Greenberg's quote about the window is closing and the Packers would beat them. Like, that screams clickbait at me. This at least gives me a little sense of thought.
Yeah, he tried to preface it right, but if there was one thing you could change from that San Francisco game, that like just one play, whether it be the off the face mask, whether it be one of those runs from Brock Purdy, whether it be one of those passes just because our cornerbacks were breaking down, would it be the fourth down call? Would it be one of those field goals? Or would it be changing kind of one of those other things that happened, like the fourth down drop from Josh Reynolds? And that's where I go. It's like when I kind of rank these things in terms of things I would change, honestly, the decision to go for it on fourth downs, they're not even in really that top 3 or top 5 for me in terms of what I would change. And so that's what kind of like we've talked about. I'm going to stay consistent. Me personally, if I was a coach on the sideline, I'm not as aggressive as Dan Campbell. But if I could change one thing out there, I would have kicked it. But if I could change one thing, that wouldn't even enter my top 3 or top 5 decisions or plays that I would change from that game.
Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong, a lot, and they couldn't keep them out of the end zone in the second half. But if you're looking for a superior defense, and come on back right after the break, we got Rod Beard, sports editor-in-chief over at the Detroit News, legendary Detroit sports media personality Rod Beard, coming on after the break. But Guardian Alarm. Gotta go to Guardian Alarm because it's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you.
They can defend the 49ers.
Customize what?
They can defend the 49ers.
They can defend anything. They got customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call them anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. They got technology backed by people, so your safety and security deserve technology that's been proven to work and people who have proven to care. So call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Again, that is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp alfredo, or shrimp stir-fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house.
Hello?
Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Glorious ice water bubble hash pre-roll is now including diamonds, everybody.
Glorious.
They are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience for you. The perfect boost comes from their added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps, making the best even better for you. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer, or you know what? You can always check them out online at gloriouscana.com.
Let's go.
How about that? We are back. What up, Doe?
Hey, what up,
I gotta get
Doe?
used to it. There's a natural there's a rhythm you got to get into introducing the show. You don't realize it until you have to do it. It's like things coming down and go, what up, Doe? Wake up, Woodward. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We have a legend coming up. If you could hit the like button, not only for us, but for the legend Rod Beard, who will be joining the show here right about now. Kool-Aid, you want to introduce Rod?
Hey, there he goes, man. You know what? Rod, one of the best people that I know. Hey, look, man, I'm a little bit under the weather right now, man. This Michigan weather, I slept with the window open. I didn't get a lot of sleep with the newborn at home. Woke up like, oh man, this is gonna be tough. But you know what? We got Rod on. This is the best part about having the starting five that we do here at Wake Up Woodward. But hey, Rod, I don't know if you got a chance to see it. Definitely look at it later. We got a nice picture of you up on our back wall as well, repping you from your Michigan when you covered Michigan basketball.
I was gonna say that picture has to be 10 years old at least.
Legend, man.
And is that
Legend.
Ice Cube on the shirt? We got Ice Cube today?
Call it out.
Yeah.
That is dope boy.
Today was a good day.
Yes, sir.
It
yes,
is
sir.
always a good day when we get Rod on the phone.
Yeah,
or
and
on
you know
camera,
what?
I should say.
We're gonna mash the two segments in together. So we're going all the way around the city, and we'll end with Woodward Pistons. So that means we got to get the drum roll going. I'm gonna need your help, bro.
I got you.
I'm gonna need your help. Let's go. Hey, yo! Shout out to the legend, Detroit News, Rod Beard. Bro, how are you doing today?
I am outstanding. It is an outstanding day, and congratulations on the newborn. That is my thought
Thank
of the day. Let's throw the sports stuff to the side. Unless just go, we got a future hooper, then we can talk about it then. But just it's such exciting news, and I know how this road to getting here has been for you guys. So just congratulations and blessings to you and your family. It's just another wonderful addition.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man, so much. I mean, like I tell you guys all the time, Rod is a great person. I like the fact that we work with a lot of good people, man, in this industry as well. We actually, on the back wall, we got Detroit news on Detroit sports. We want to make sure that you guys do understand that Mr. Rod Beard is the sports editor-in-chief at the Detroit News. He brings his perspective weekly from what his beat is kind of feeling about the Tigers, the Red Wings, the Lions, and the Detroit Pistons.
He's got an incredible staff. I've gotten to know at least a little bit some of his team over at the Detroit News that cover the Lions. Hopefully get to know them covering the Tigers too. But Rod, I got to ask, we were just finishing a segment about the Lions before we get to Pistons and Red Wings and Tigers. There were some comments made by Colin Cowherd of FS1 saying the Lions just need to keep this alpha, this aggressiveness mentality, but Dan Campbell can't be as reckless. So you know some of the calls he made throughout the season and specifically in the NFC Championship game. Do you consider those reckless? Do you think he needs to step his game up or mature as a coach as significantly as it sounded Colin Cowherd was insinuating?
You find your level in that sort of stuff, and I don't think it's reckless because why do you choose to go for it on 4th and 7? Because you can make it. If you didn't think you could make it, you wouldn't decide to go for it. So that says more about where this team is and the steps that they've made forward, that you even have the option, not even the option, but a coach who's confident enough to go for it, because this wouldn't have happened under any of the previous coaches. But this is where football is now. You're going to see more coaches playing the analytics, playing the numbers and saying, hey, if we make that 4th and 7, then we're good. And fans who complain about it, they're not complaining when he makes a 4th and 3 or a 4th and 2 and in a tough spot on his side of the field. So you can't complain when he doesn't make it, because that's just the coin flip. It's a 52 or 55% chance. You know what? It's going to be the other 45 or 48% sometimes too.
I like the way you described it, and it's true. If Josh Reynolds catches that ball, we're not talking about it either. So it's just how things played out. Speaking of how things played out, we didn't have you on last Wednesday, and since then, the NFL free agency has kind of taken over, and the Lions started what some people thought as slow or flew under the radar, but just recently have made some acquisitions via trade and free agency, like DJ Reader, defensive tackle, like guard Kevin Zietler. We got cornerback Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson. How do you feel about some of these free agent moves, Rod?
I'm not going to say they won free agency, because you kind of gauge that differently, but I think they checked the boxes of things that they wanted to do. They did their Christmas shopping and got all the stuff done, and now you can kind of rest, and you don't have to go into the draft feeling like you have to do certain things. You don't have to target a cornerback. You don't have to target an edge rusher. You can look and see what the board looks like, and the best player that's there, you just create more depth. You can get a receiver if you really wanted to. And so all of the Kool-Aid McKinstry talk, you don't have to buy into that. You don't have to trade up. And so I think this is where Brad Holmes is going to be at his best, is let me not target position, let me target player. And if somebody even drops into the low teens, then you feel like, okay, maybe he can trade up and get something get a player who's going to be a difference maker there without having to mortgage the farm in order to do it. But then you don't feel the pressure to have to. When was the last time the Lions went into a draft where they didn't feel like they had to do something? We have to get an impact player here. It's been a while. I can't think of the last time that there just wasn't this, oh my goodness, what are they going to do? They got to fix this. They got to fix that. There's no glaring need that you say they have to do this position. I think that's a credit to Holmes and the rest of his staff and the way that they built this team. Is now you can draft for depth, and now you can draft for something that you want instead of you need.
Man, that's insightful. And just kind of shifting gears a little bit, I want to ask you a Tigers question before we get into Pistons in a little bit. With the Detroit Tigers, what is the feel around the Detroit News, especially from some of your beat writers, about the expectations and how they're feeling about the squad, as they kind of, obviously you only put so much on spring training, but what is it that's exciting them right now about this team?
I think it's the youth and the meshing of that youth. And Lynn Henning had a column for us last week saying he's projecting 85 wins. I think that's about right. You'd love to see a little bit more than that. But they're not, in his mind, they're not going to win the division, but they'll be right there in the discussion at 85 wins. this isn't a strong division, not as strong, top heavy as it's been in previous years. So I think the Tigers will have a shot, but you need a lot of things to go right. You want to see the young pitchers really start to come into their own. You want to see Flaherty. You want to see Maeda really jump in and take hold in their first years with the team. Sometimes that's hard to do. You don't really understand the culture and everything else that's there and the rhythm. But if you can start hitting the ball a little bit early and get some effective pitching, you have a shot early in the season. And that's been their bugaboo. It's just you got to start out at least decent, 500. You can't have these 3-17 sort of starts. You got to jump out the box really quick and let the rest of the division know, hey, you're right there. You're going to be there at the end of the year.
Absolutely. And Lynn Henning's a fantastic writer. Do you have an opinion on the last two starting rotation spots? It seems to be between Casey Mize, Matt Manning, and Reese Olson.
I definitely like Manning, and I would like to see Mize get there. I mean, you're battling injuries, and it's so much. You just want to see guys when they get to that level have a good shot and a good opportunity and be healthy. So I think Olsen can be there for depth, and as they start to stretch some of these younger guys out, the innings are going to be available for everybody to sort of pitch. This isn't just a solid 5-man rotation and that's it. I think they're going to move things around as the season progresses.
Love to hear it. The other team, before we get to the Pistons, the other team that shares LCA, they had a huge win last night. Patrick Kane wins it in overtime versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Lucas Raymond had a big day. This was the first game called up for Simon Edvinsson. Do you think a game like this can recalibrate the Detroit Red Wings on an upward trajectory headed to a playoff berth?
Imagine if you had turned that game off in the third period. Just kind of, you know what? Forget this game. I'm going to bed. You missed out on a doozy. So I think it can be transformative. It can give you that boost. But they've got to do something to get out of this skid that they were on. And this can energize you for a couple of games. But that Islanders game coming up, that's going to be a big one in terms of the standings. You got to win these key games with these other teams that are in the wild card hunt with you.
Yep. Man, I'm hoping that the Red Wings can definitely find that stride again, especially when they get Dylan Larkin back.
Oh, yeah.
They got Edmund coming up as well from Grand Rapids.
Edmund season, the kids are saying on Twitter.
Hey, let's rock, man. Hopefully it helps to improve the defense in some substantial way, and that the goalies can get hot as this season kind of winds down for the Red Wings. But the Detroit Pistons, man. One thing that happened, and we got boots on the ground in the Miami Heat game. That was a heartbreak of a loss. I don't even want to recap that game, man. But the 2004 Detroit Pistons were honored. A lot of them were in the building, as well as people like Arnie Kander, the trainers, some of the front office execs as well. And it was just an overall good feeling, man. I just wanted your take on those 2004 Detroit Pistons and the way that the Detroit Pistons kind of honored them.
Class. I mean, that squad embodies kind of what we think of a championship caliber team is. And we think of Isaiah, we think of Lambier and the Bad Boys, but that team, for whatever reason, just kind of the grit and what this city is it's not about the stars. It is really about the guys who are just going to work in the hard hats. And you see Rip, you see Ben, you feel like, man, we need a couple of guys like that on this team to really capture the imagination of the city again. But it's always good seeing Chauncey that we see him a little bit more now in his coaching role, but just what he brings in the leadership. And it's not this kind of demanding leadership. It's just, give me the ball, jump on my back, and we're going to go. So it's always good for this squad to see what that 04 Pistons team is like, and that you can be not a superstar. And that was a theme that they always hit on. You don't have to be a superstar. You just have stars who play to be the star in your role. And you can help a team elevate and be on a championship level, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that the current squad, that they kind of heard and kind of felt the excitement, the exuberance for that 2004 squad, because every time they put them up on the Jumbotron, especially during the halftime, where they're able to kind of see this stuff, I'm hoping that they understand exactly that Detroit fans are ready to absolutely support them the way that they supported the previous winners. So, but one thing that's on the way, fast approaching, is kind of going to be our playoffs, is really the draft. And there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of people on both sides of this thing right now in terms of what to do with that draft pick. I've been on record as saying I kind of want to see the Detroit Pistons, not kind of, I want to see them trade that pick and accelerate this rebuild just a little bit. But I've also heard some arguments where some people believe that there are players right now in this draft that can help to move this thing forward and help as it relates from a contract wise standpoint to have this type of player on a rookie contract scale deal. And it will allow the Detroit Pistons to maybe part with somebody else that's currently a part of their young core. Is Alex Sarr, in your opinion, the France star overseas who's about 7'1", he's shown that he can shoot the three, but he's only shooting about 28 to 30% from three. But his defense is exactly what I believe the Detroit Pistons are missing in the middle of that paint. Is he somebody that you think is worth taking with that number 1 draft pick, even though he and Jalen Duren might not necessarily mesh?
No.
Ooh.
No, I don't want it. No, unlike.
Stay out.
Unlike, I don't want it. I don't even want to go down that road. If you can trade the pick, and here's the hard part. If you're going to trade that pick, it has to be somebody who can be a difference maker. You've got to really fleece somebody and get an all-star caliber, maybe not an all-star, but all-star caliber player in, so that when you go to free agency, you can say, hey, we got this guy. If I'm a free agent and you come to the table or you call me and you say, hey, we got Alex Sarr, so like that doesn't move the needle and make me as a free agent want to come there. You tell me you went out and got I'll say DeMar DeRozan. I'll just throw a name out. DeMar DeRozan. You tell me you went and got him. Right. So as a free agent, now I want to come and play with DeMar DeRozan. I don't want to come and play with Sarr. There's nothing in there that says I want to come and play with Sarr. But so you have to build a brand. You have to say, hey, we hooping. Okay, if you come in the gym, who's got next? Okay, who you got? I got this dude and this dude. Oh, okay, now I want to run on that team. Everybody's been in that situation. But if it's Alex Sarr, it's just kind of like, okay, well, I mean, it's another rookie, another young guy.
And
the thing that this team needs is veteran guys and proven guys who can come in and need another opportunity to make this work.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, they got some concerns, especially with some of the foreign players, of how quickly are they going to acclimate to the NBA game even. Not that they're not going to eventually figure it out, but how quickly is it going to happen? And for us here in Detroit, it's been a mixed bag. I'm not going to say that, just because Killian Hayes was here, don't take a chance on a foreign player, because you got guys like Carlos Delfino and Mehmet Okur who absolutely were vital and instrumental to the 2004 Pistons winning the championship. They played some pretty decent roles for them. But I agree with you completely, especially when you see some of these potential free agents and some of the teams that are potentially looking to break things down and trade off some of their higher priced players. I do believe that the Pistons are primed in a position to move this thing, accelerate this thing.
Please.
By next season. They have to. Detroit fans are supporting. Like I said, over the last 3 years, they continue to be ranked between the top 12 and top 19 in home game attendance. Like, Detroit fans, they've done their job. They've continued to show up. There might be some games where it's light, but you were there. You were there on Sunday. We had boots on the ground. It was an epic environment, man. Absolutely. And it's like, it's time. It is time.
Memo said it best in 2004. It's time.
It's time. Look, all three of the other teams, we see them kind of moving with the Tigers, the Red Wings, and the Lions, with now sprinkling around their young players, kind of some of these right veteran players. It's time for the Detroit Pistons, in my opinion, to do the same. Whether you have faith or belief in Monty Williams, whether you have faith or belief in Troy Weaver, the game plan and my hope is that it starts to shift towards what Troy Weaver said they would do 7 days before this past free agency, and that's coming up this offseason. It's now time to move this thing into high gear, get in the right vets here on this squad that can absolutely mesh with what Monty Williams is trying to do. And you know what? I'm going to tell people, like, we've heard names like Tobias Harris. The Bulls have said that Zach LaVine is going to be on the trading blocks as well. And you know what? At this point in time, I wouldn't even be
Brandon Ingram, bring him home.
You know what? If they could find somebody to get an Ingram, my goodness, make that happen. Because you're hearing rumors that the Pelicans might try and break this thing down. And it was cool to see Monty Williams get the name drop of Willie Green, talking about learning of this Detroit culture even before he got here. And DeMar DeRozan, another player that we know has connections to the organization through Dwayne Casey. the Pistons have to do something. There will be options, and I'm with you, man. I like Sarr, but not at this current time for where this team is at.
Right, and you got to look at teams that sort of flame out in the playoffs. Those are going to be the first ones that you want to pick at, and people who might just say, hey, this is the last run we've got with this group, and then we'll blow it up if we need to. So that sort of thing, I don't know if you can go with LaVine. Now you're saying another injury and catastrophic. Is he coming off of this one too? How effective can he be for that price tag that you're looking at? That's going to be the big question there.
Yep.
All right, Rod, to maybe close this out, I know we got to let you go here shortly. If you can give us 180 more seconds, I got 3 of our toughest trivia questions that we were asking some of the fans about that 2004 team. I'm just curious to see if you know the answer to some of these. Do you mind if I ask you these 3 trivia questions real quick?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, in chat, get your answers in. We're going to fire through these, but get them in the chat. So, Rod, in the 2003 NBA draft, the year before they won the championship, the Pistons famously selected Darko Milicic with the number 2 pick. However, the Pistons had a second pick in the first round that year. Who did they select?
Oh, crap. I know this. Oh.
And I can slowly give a few hits that I don't think will give it away,
Right.
but
Hit number 1.
all right. It was pick 25, and he was a guard.
No, I know it's a guard.
A
I just
foreign
can't-
player.
Hint number 3. I might have mentioned his name a little bit earlier.
I was going to say Carlos Delfino.
Delfino, baby.
That was the first one, but it just. All right.
It's tricky. I always think of Darko for that draft. I forget Carlos Delfino was a first-round pick that year. Who knew? Okay,
Yeah,
number 2.
I might
sorry.
have to do the physical challenge on number 2.
Here we go. In Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semis versus the Nets, the Pistons would hold Nets star point guard Jason Kidd to how many points? Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semis. And they won, I believe it was 97 or 99 to 69. They held the Nets to 69 points, under 70 once again that season.
4 points for Jason Kidd.
I got to say, that is the closest guess.
Yeah.
It was 0. 0 points, Game 7 of that Eastern Conference semis. Crazy.
A lot of the fans that we asked at LCA on Sunday, they all were saying 15 or 12. 0 points. Man, that defense was real.
Kidd. If you hold Jason Kidd to anything, it's going to be a single-digit number, but I thought it was something really small. And they only scored like 70.
12 or 15 assists that game. That man could pass the ball.
Yeah,
all right.
Probably.
Last question for you. How old was current Piston Jalen Duren when the 2004 team won the NBA championship on June 15th, 2004?
He was not born.
He was born. I'll give you one more guess. He was not as close to being unborn as being born, but right in between there. It's months.
Like 1?
I am going to say 8 months.
Almost. Again, the closest guess.
Yeah,
it was
that's the
7.
closest one.
He was 7 months old. He was born November 18th, 2003.
Look, if we had to grade you on a curve, you definitely would have been the person with the highest grade.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll
Definitely.
take that.
We'll take that one.
Awesome. Rod, thanks for participating in that and for everything you do for us. We love having you on here every Wednesday.
Anytime, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Have a good rest of your day. Be blessed. I got a salute to our chief, the sports editor-in-chief at the Detroit News. You guys, they do a lot of great work over there. Rod Beard gives us time for us every single week and his insight, and he brings a lot of wealth of knowledge from the rest of the beat at the Detroit News. Hey, shout out to my guy Mike Curtis as well. Detroit Pistons beat writer for the Detroit News. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Rod.
Get some sleep, man. You do that. Get some sleep.
I will. I definitely will. Thank you, man.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Oh, man, cool. That's a one of my favorite segments each week. Having Rod on.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, I appreciate it,
He
man.
was close with those trivia questions, too. Those are the ones nobody got.
You know what? Rod Beard has been around just sports in this state for a very, very long time. So it's cool to be able to ask him those types of questions and kind of get his perspective and feel on it. And he's right. He was like one of the closest.
Yeah.
The fans were kind of all over the place Sunday, but you know what? We still had fun.
We still had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Well, since it's hump day, it's a perfect day for a game. When we come back, we're going to be playing Peaks or Cheeks, getting back to NFC edition. We're talking NFL, reverting back, Peaks and Cheeks. When we come back, let me tell you first, I believe, JB, I'm going to tell them about Big Boy.
Yes, Big Boy.
Big Boy, our favorite. I see you guys in the chat. I see you. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Dive into the fish and tips, their new Parmesan crusted cod, perfectly fried clam strip platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. A Big Boy must try is the new mango iced tea. It is the ultimate complement to their popcorn shrimp Alfredo, or shrimp stir fry. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy. And don't forget, 2 days from now, on Friday night, it's the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Check them out. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Football season is officially over. Well, the 2023 season was, but this 2024 season has just begun. However, Jack Labrador, they're 24/7, 365 days a year, always open like 7-Eleven. You can learn how to play now on your phone at jacklabrador.gg. They got 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play, totally remaking that old rock, paper, scissors game that we learned as kids. Also, you got to remember, once you go Jack, you never go back. So head to jacklabrador.gg now. What up, people?
Hey,
what up, though? I'm putting my read down.
My best, man. Thank you guys for starting off your day with Wake Up Woodward. We got 4 of our 5 here. Shout out to Flannel Sam, who's filling in today on Big D Energy. He's our MVP. Shout out to our elite booth. You know what? I will do the best I can to make sure I put on for the guys. We got Woodward Sports MVP.
Speaking of Jeezy, put on for your city. I put on
for my We got Woodward Sports MVP over here, Mr. JB Smooth, aka JB McCarthy.
JB McCarthy.
And we got over here in the sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick, Mr. KG.
What up, though?
What up, though?
Hey, shout out to you, man. Playing through injury today, man. Like a consummate professional you are.
Hey, and you know what, man? Like the team that we are, man, shout out to you guys. Like, this is the awesome part about being on this squad, is that we're always going to have each other's back. And people here, then, they pick up the slack, man. So thank you guys.
You are Kevin Zietler.
Let's rock, man.
You don't miss games.
Let's rock.
Play through it.
No, it's no Jonah Jackson over here.
The flu game for Kool-Aid right now.
Shots fired, man.
Shots fired. Good luck out in LA.
And this is our Detroit Lions and Tigers credentialed.
That's me.
Writer and reporter over here, Mr. Matt Broder.
My name is Matt Broder. Hit that QR code. I think it'll work through the screen. I think that's the point of it. Check out Jack Labrador. It's a fun game. We're going to start playing it on the show, if not Friday. Help us decide some segments. We're going to have a good time with Jack Lab. Got a lot of stuff playing coming up. Incredible guests next week. All throughout the week. Got some special surprises for you. We'll start sharing them with you, I believe, by the end of this week. And we're going to hint at some of them that are going to be happening next Friday. But We have a caller.
We
have a caller. I believe Mr. Cordell Walker is on the line, wanting to revisit this Dan Campbell, Colin Cowherd comments before we get to Peaks and Cheeks. Also, Kool-Aid has one thing to show us. But Cordell, welcome to the Wake Up Woodward Show. How you doing, my guy?
What's up, man?
What up, guys?
What's up?
What up, though?
Hey, let me start by saying congratulations on the newborn, Kool-Aid.
Hey, thank you, Cordell. I appreciate it a lot, man. Thank you.
Hey, what the hell kind of L take was that, though? I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. Michael Badgley kicked a 54-yard field goal in a dome. He should have been able to kick a 48-yard field goal outdoors in Candlestick. Oh, you mean the 48 field goal that he was 4-17 from outdoors the last 2 years? But Dan Campbell was 17 or 20 with from fourth down. So I take the numbers.
That,
I'll take the numbers.
So, Cordell, you're saying I'll take out of Colin Cowherd.
No, I think he's talking about me.
Yeah, that's an L take out of Colin Cowherd.
No, he's talking Colin.
Okay.
Yeah, he's saying he was just giving us the field goal kicking.
Yeah, it's an L take by Colin. I can understand Lions fans wanting the field goal to be taken by then. And I can have a conversation with a guy like KG without being like, L take, bro, because he's a Lions fan. He gets it. But, like, all these other people coming out here talking about Detroit needs to chill out with the fourth down calls. Detroit needs to chill out with the going for a win. By the way, we won that game in Dallas, so I'm not entertaining
Facts.
any freaking. We tried it 2 more times. We won that game in Dallas. I don't care. The whole world saw us go down there and fucking score that fucking 2-point conversion. I'm good. But for all these outside forces and all these outside agitators trying to piss us Lions fans off, just shut the fuck up. You clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Talk to him.
Like,
Talk
you,
to him.
the recklessness, the aggressiveness. The recklessness, the aggressiveness. You know, I'm sorry. If we had a fucking reliable kicker, we might have kicked that field goal. But, like, oh, Dan Campbell's got to figure it out. Maybe Josh Reynolds got to catch the ball. Maybe that's why Josh Reynolds ain't coming back. Maybe these players got to execute. Maybe that's why Jonah Jackson's unhealthy. I can only play 7 games in a season. Ass is gone. It ain't nothing to do with Dan Campbell and being reckless, because let's be real, that recklessness got us to the NFC Championship game, did it not?
It did. It sure did.
So I don't want to hear anything about how we need to calm down.
Right now.
And then you add... I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Get
your last
quick.
comment in. Go for it, Cordell. You're the man.
And then you factor in the fact that we just traded for a fucking dude at cornerback. We just signed DJ fucking Reader, who is responsible for Trey Hendrickson having 17 sacks this past season. And then you factor in that we got Kevin Zietler, and then Mike Greenberg wants to be. And I'm sorry, thank you for calling this man a bum. And by the way, send me that fucking Cash App to my email so I can send you that $10. But Mike Greenberg wants to talk about how our window's closed. We just got Kevin Zietler making our fucking offensive line the best in the NFL. When do you ever hear people talk about a team with the best line in football as if their window's closed and not just beginning? Get these L takes out of here, and I'm glad you guys are mopping the floor with them, and I'm with JB. Colin Cowherd's a bomb, and he needs to stop talking about Detroit, bro, because every time I watch this motherfucker, it's another fucking, well, the Lions would be good if they just weren't this. The Lions would be good if they just weren't trash. Get out of here, bro. Go have fun in your freaking LA studio or where the fuck ever your studio is from. That's how much I don't give a fuck about you. And stop with these
Facts,
L-takes.
Cordell. I'm with you, man. We appreciate you calling. We appreciate it, Cordell. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for calling in. Cordell, as it says on our screen. Cordell, thanks for calling. He talked about mopping the floor with Greeny and Colin Cowherd. That makes sense because we're the janitors. That's our nickname here on the show, cleaning up the messes. Shout out, Cordell. Thanks for the call, man. I believe we have one more person on the line.
Yeah, we do. I think he's a first-time caller. Charles McClain is on the line.
Charles.
What's up, Charles? You on Wake Up Woodward, bro?
Good morning, y'all. Listen, man, I'm calling from Tampa, so I know y'all got snow, so, you know, I'm fixing to go. Hey, no, listen, I disagree with Dan Campbell, or I disagree with Colin Cowherd because I coach at an NAIA university. I was a head coach in high school football, okay? I have never coached to tie. I have never coached to play for overtime. You coach to win the game. Well, I mean, you know, the fans may not agree with me going for a 4th down and 2, okay? If our team makes it, the coach looks like a genius. If we don't make it, the coach is the bad guy, okay? So Colin Coward can take his shit and just stay out there in L.A. and don't worry about anything in Detroit. Same thing with Mike Greenberg. But I've been going and watching the Tigers. And, Broder, I got one question for you, okay?
Talk to me, Charles.
I know it's going to make a lot of people mad, but somebody's got to step up. If I was Scott Harris, I would show Javier Baez the pink slip and tell him to get his ass out of Detroit.
That's a take, Charles. And we appreciate you calling and talking Lions and Tigers. I happen to agree with you. I'm at that point. Yeah. And I'm trying not to hate on El Mago, although he just hasn't performed. You get a bag like that, you got to take the criticism. Perform. He hasn't performed. He still isn't performing. He's not even hitting this spring training. You got to do something. And if you're going to build this team around, or I should say, if you're not going to spend in free agency, you're not going to sign the Matt Chapmans, the J.D. Martinez. You're not going to spend money that way with the, I'll call it an excuse for the sake of this conversation, the excuse of letting your young guys get at bats, get their big league playing time under their belt. Javier Baez is the complete opposite of that strategy. Even with the amount of money he's being paid, all he's doing is eating up those at-bats in those innings for a Kevin McGonigal, for any young Eddie's Leonard, who's mashing in spring training. He could play shortstop. If that's going to be your strategy with everything else, and you're not going to spend the money that you just got back from the Miguel Cabrera retiring, might as well use that extra money to just pay him off. Say so long. Give him the CJ Gardner-Johnson wave that hopefully the Tigers turn things around after the wave.
Yeah. You got $98 million on hand?
I don't have $90 million. He's owed $98 million. So would he accept $90, $95 million just to go away? I sure would.
Yeah. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't. I mean, he's just collecting a check at this point. He doesn't really care. But yeah, man, like shout out to Neil Rule. Every time we bring up El Mago, I got to mention Neil Rule. Shout out to him. We trying to get this telethon going. Maybe we can get some results that way. But yeah, El Mago is just, he's not cutting it, man. He's not cutting it. I don't see them moving off of him this year. They might just wait till it comes down one more year and then try to cut him. But like you said, at what point, what purpose is this serving? You're only hurting your young team at this point.
Yeah,
he can't hit any type of ball at all. Like it's crazy. So yeah, you got to do something, man. But who knows? We'll see how the season plays out.
Got to think the only thing they could be waiting for is to have maybe a hot April or May and get some trade value. But still, any competent general manager around the league knows a hot April. We see the track record of him in Detroit. And real quick, while you were talking Tigers, I didn't say this in the opening when we went around the city. So they tied. We talked about Jack Flaherty and the bullpen playing well. Parker Meadows, the young center fielder, he went 3 for 3 yesterday. Again, 0 runs for either team. He went 3 for 3. He was the only Tiger that had a hit on the day. They had 3 hits, all of which were Parker Meadows. Crazy, right? Anyways, moving on. Kool-Aid's got something to show us about the Red Wings before we get into peaks and cheeks. Kool-Aid, talk to me.
It ain't nothing too serious, but we've been making a big deal about this priority patch. But you know what? They won last night, and it was something a little bit different on that jersey, man. You got the Detroit Red Wings win slide, KG.
It makes so much sense now.
Oh, look at that.
There we go, Patrick Kane.
That's how you get W's.
That's how you get W's.
There's 2 W's in the language.
There you go.
Actually, 3 if you spell out Woodward.
There you go.
Bang.
3 W's. You know
Bang.
what? And we will get boots on the ground again at LCA for a Red Wings game. We got to help them start this winning streak.
You know, although we didn't help the Pistons on Sunday, the next game at LCA after that was the Red Wings. So maybe there was a little leftover aura, as the kids say.
Hey, it came down to the buzzer when we was there, so I mean, it just
Bam Adebayo.
What can you do? Bam Adebayo hitting a walk down 3. Come on, what you gonna do about that, man? That ain't on us.
The only Bam I want to see is Zonovan Knight. Forget Bam Adebayo or trade for him because he's one of the best young centers in the league.
Big fan.
Anyways,
we gotta get to.
Let's play some Peaks or Cheeks. It's hump day.
Let's go.
If you guys remember, this is a play on buy or sell. Which player, or in this case, how I'm going to explain is this team, Are they ascending towards the peak, or are they cheeks? Are the moves they're making in free agency, is it cheeks, which means it sucks? It's
Big
bad.
peaks
They're
or
stinking
flat
it up.
cheeks? Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes. Yeah. So this is NFC free agency edition. I'm going to run through some teams. I want your guys' opinion. Are they peaks? Are the moves that they're making what you see 1 week into free agency peaks or cheeks? We're going to start off with the San Francisco 49ers. They added edge Leonard Floyd, edge Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, cornerback Chase Lucas. These are some of the they've made other moves. These are some of the more publicized names. They lost Eric Armstead. They lost cornerback Isaiah Oliver. KG, peaks or cheeks, San Francisco 49ers?
Peaks. They always find a way to stay relevant. They got Leonard Floyd. That's a good start. They got rid of Chase Young, who allegedly takes plays off, from what we've heard. That's just going off what we heard. But they lost Javon Kinlaw as well.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, but yeah, they're going to be in the mix again. The 49ers always find a way. Give me peaks.
And they just signed Josh Dobbs, cornerback, former Lion, Brown, Viking. He's been a lot.
The
Cardinals.
bald-head wonder.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs. JB, peaks or cheeks, San Francisco 49ers?
Gotta go with peaks. Like
Okay.
KG said, they always somehow seem to find themselves back in the mix and the playoff hunting. They always seem to find a way to win, and hey, they still got all those offensive weapons, so peaks.
Kool-Aid, peaks or cheeks, baby?
Yeah, definitely
That was
peaks
awkward.
here, man, for the 49ers. It's big peaks, actually. They, like KG said, they just continue to find a way to stay atop the NFC division, and it's because of the moves that they continue to make to re-up.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go cheeks. I'm going to be the one who says cheeks.
Okay.
I like the Leonard Floyd signing. I actually like the contract, but what they're doing doesn't really, nothing sticks out to me.
Yeah.
Not that they needed to. They made it to the Super Bowl, but
Right.
if we're going to judge what they're doing in free agency,
They still got a ton on that team, too.
they do. Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
They got ballers.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I want to see them address the offensive line more. They haven't made any big splashes there. Maybe they do in the draft. I'm going cheeks. Big Dan Davis says 49ers peaks. CK, nothing fantastic, but a nice set of peaks for the 49ers. CK, you know this game. That's what I'm talking about. JB and KG are peaks, says Mike G.
Hey, real quick, shout out Mike G, man. When I was gone, I saw he used my profile picture
Yup.
that y'all was flashing up. I take that as a badge of honor. You know he does that with a lot of people on the network. So
It is a badge of
Mike
honor.
G, I appreciate that. I took that as a badge of honor. Thank you, man.
Shout out Mike G.
Shout out Mike G, OG, legend. You're the man. Go blue. Philadelphia Eagles, peaks or cheeks? Let me remind you, they added Saquon Barkley, edge Bryce Huff, Julian Aquara, edge Zach Bond, wide receiver Devontae Parker, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Devin White, and Kenny Pickett. They did lose DeAndre Swift, Kevin Byard, cornerback Avonte Maddox, Jason Kelsey retired, and Fletcher Cox retired. What are your thoughts, peaks or cheeks, Kool-Aid, on the Eagles?
I gotta go with peaks, man. With the Eagles, they added a couple players that I was hoping the Detroit Lions would definitely be in on. The Bryce Huff one was like, wow, that's gonna be a good pickup for them this year.
Yeah, KG, peaks or cheeks, Eagles?
Cheeks.
Ooh.
What the hell are the Eagles? Where are they going? I don't trust it. This past season, the collapse they had of epic proportions. I don't know if Nick Sirianni is the man for the job, man, going forward. And they've lost talent. They've lost a lot of talent. Now, can they rebound? Yes, they are still a good team, but I just don't see them being in the upper echelon in the NFC anymore. So, give me cheeks, man.
All right, JB, peaks or cheeks, Eagles?
I'm going with peaks on this one as well, too. I don't know. I'm kind of upset that they signed Saquon, though, because, I mean, that is a top-tier running back.
He got to stay healthy, though.
Yeah,
like, Saquon is a beast, but he has to stay healthy.
He has to stay healthy for this team to play well and do better. We lost CJ to them once again, but I'm still going with peaks. I honestly think the question is for them is, do they trust Jalen Hurts now anymore?
That's a good point. I'm peaks also, and I like the Saquon move because it's to the Eagles. They did lose Jason Kelsey, one of the best centers in football, top 3 for sure, if not number 2. So to go to that offensive line, although they haven't addressed it a ton in free agency, it's been built to be strong. Who was the center Cam Jurgens. They drafted him, I believe, last year to replace Kelsey anyway. So I expect that offensive line to be good. I think it's an upgrade, Saquon over DeAndre Swift. Definitely. I like the Bryce Huff addition. I like the CJ Gardner-Johnson addition for them. To be able to convince him to come back, he hated Philadelphia. I still don't understand that other than him getting the bag, but peaks. This one might be a quick
the chat is they're kind of mixed on it as well.
I could totally see both sides of it.
Yeah.
I like that there's not these crazy splashes. I like Devin White added to that team. It's to be determined how their secondary performs. Yeah. Brendan Dillinger, great size, but Eagles cheeks. This one will be a little quicker with this one, I'm sure, because there's just not much that happened. The Dallas Cowboys, who like peaks or cheeks.
Automatic cheeks.
Cheeks.
Ass cheeks.
Ass.
Ass. Double cheeked up.
I'm giving cheeks too. Are we all giving cheeks?
Flat cheeks. The flattest of cheeks.
Right. No curve on that.
Drop it. Atlanta Falcons. Peaks or cheeks. Added Kirk Cousins, Rondale Moore, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod. I just gave you a quarterback and 3 mid wide receivers. They lost tight end Jonnu Smith. How you feeling?
I don't even know. I guess I got to go with cheeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheeks. No explanation needed.
Again?
Sorry?
What team was this again?
The Falcons. Added Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Added wide receiver Rondale Moore via a trade.
Yeah.
Added Darnell Mooney, a wide receiver, and wide receiver Ray McLeod. They lost Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, I'm still questioning their defense a little bit. I'll go Peaks because they needed a quarterback. Desmond Ritter, aka Desmond Mitter, has been absolutely garbage for them. They needed a quarterback, so that's probably the biggest acquisition. And then Darnell Mooney, solid receiver. Rondale Moore, I want to see more from him. He was highly touted wide receiver coming out. So yeah, but give me Peaks for them, man.
All right, Peaks or cheeks, JB.
I mean, shout out to Kirk Cousins, all that cold cash money he's gonna be spending in Atlanta, but it's cheeks. You did nothing this offseason. I'm
all
sorry.
checkered shirts.
I'm gonna give him a peak, so I think we're gonna go split. You said peaks. You said cheeks.
And
yeah,
it was kind of like down the middle. They didn't do enough for me. When you're gonna spend that much cash, it's like, yo, fix this team.
Yeah,
on both sides of the ball.
As a whole, I don't like the player. It's a cheeks in terms of the players they got, but because they got a competent quarterback to actually get the ball to their weapons, they got a good offensive line. They do need to address some pieces on their defense, but just the fact that they got a quarterback, I give that a win for them. They're close. They got pieces there. Yeah. If they lose their 8th pick, we might be having a different story.
Hey, shout out to Dip Duck Dive Dodge. He said, "Thanks for your cheeks, JB."
Clap.
Oh, it's bad.
What?
Well, what? All right, we're gonna finish up these last 2 minutes in the NFC North. Thus far, Minnesota Vikings. Peaks or cheeks? They added Sam Darnold at quarterback, running back Aaron Jones, edge Jonathan Greenard, edge Andrew Van Ginkel, linebacker Blake Cashman. They did lose a guy by the name of Daniil Hunter, Jordan Hicks, linebacker, and Alex Madison, their running back. Peaks or cheeks?
You know what? We'll go a little peaks. Little peaks. Yeah.
Okay. Peaks for Kool-Aid. What about you, KGZ?
Can I go cheeks on offense and peaks on defense? Because, I mean, defensively, they kind of hung in there more than I thought they would. But offensively and really as a whole, it's cheeks, man. I mean, they lost Kirk Cousins. That was really the driving force behind their success. I don't know how they'll do with a different quarterback under center, especially what Andy Dalton, like you said, like the redhead stepchild. So yeah, give me
Sam Darnold is probably going to be their starter, but
Sam Darnold,
same thing.
Yeah, pretty much,
kind
pretty
of.
much. So yeah, give me cheeks, man. Overall,
JB.
What team is this again?
Yeah, the Vikings.
The
Vikings.
Oh, come on, this is cheeks 100%. I'm sorry. This is cheeks.
I'm going cheeks too. I do like the edges and the linebackers they added, but I don't see them adding to that offensive line. You don't have a quarterback yet. Sam Darnold, it's okay for a year, whatever. They're not doing it for me.
Cheeks.
Chicago Bears added Swift, Gerald Everett, tight end, guard Ryan Bates via trade. Going to be their center. Wide receiver Keenan Allen via trade. Kevin Byard, a safety, and a safety Jonathan Owens. They did lose safety Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair, a guard.
Yeah, I didn't know they had Gerald Everett too.
Yeah, Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett's I like that move for them as their number
solid,
2.
Man.
He can make some plays.
Absolutely.
Kool-Aid, peaks or cheeks?
Honestly, big peaks for the Chicago Bears. Yeah.
Peaks. What about you?
I gotta go peaks, man.
Peaks.
They made a lot of good moves, man. We'll see how it plays out, but so far so good.
I can hear the disdain in your voice too, man. But you gotta admit it.
Okay.
It's like, man.
Yeah, that's all right. What about you, JB?
I got to go with Peaks as well. I've told you guys all the way since last season to watch out for the Bears, and they just keep adding more and more pieces. So this is Peaks, big Peaks.
I'm going Cheeks. I do like the players that they've added. I like Keenan Allen. I like Kevin Byard. I like Gerald Everett as their number 2. But until they do something about their offensive line,
that's true.
I'm not taking them seriously.
That's true.
They're about to have a rookie quarterback. I don't care what else they have.
Yeah.
DJ Reader, Lee McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson are about to feast. Go fix your offensive line, and then I'll give you a Peaks because they have made good moves.
Yeah.
Outside of that, last one. Let's be quick with this because we got to get to what's trending with JB. Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers added Josh Jacobs, safety Xavier McKinney, safety Darnell Savage. They lost Aaron Jones to the Vikings and a linebacker Devondre Campbell, among others. Peaks or Cheeks?
Cheeks.
Cheeks.
Yeah.
Pass.
Sounds like a Cheeks to me. Not even worth the Cheeks.
Give me Peaks, man. They made some good moves, man. I hate to admit it. They made some okay moves. That's it.
Okay, KG. What about you, JB?
It's Cheeks for me. I don't care for the Packers at all. You added nothing to move the needle for me, so Cheeks.
Cheeks. Clap them. It's Cheeks. Safety Xavier McKinney is the only addition that I even am going to give any time to. Josh Jacobs is a good running back. He's not that much better than Aaron Jones. Some may argue Aaron Jones is better. Again, do something about your offensive line. You have your franchise quarterback who has the potential to be very good. You got no one to block for him.
Yeah.
Cheeks. Cheeks it is. There it was, Peaks or Cheeks, Hump Day edition. Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Hey.
You guys know what we're coming back to. JB has something cooked up. I actually don't know. There's some questions that I'm getting asked. I have no idea. There's something going on. You guys are going to want to see this, I feel. We'll come on right back. JB, what's this next read we got?
We got to double up. So Swiss and Lady Jane's.
Swiss and Lady Jane's. Good news and bad news for Swiss Insurance. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board. The good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. So call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. And then tell you about Lady Jane's because we got another March Madness bracket coming at you. You can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. You have the chance to enter to win the $50K Perfect Bracket Challenge. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories. Some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy. You're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They have the same great prices and all the convenience of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. They got over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com. And if you're hungry after picking up food for your pet, head over to Shake Shack. Shake Shack and Woodward Sports want to remind you it's always football season, so you have the chance to win 2 free tickets to the Lions season home opener. This is what we're calling the Shake Shack QB Challenge. If you can throw it on a rope, you could be at the home opener. Register today for your chance to win at any Shake Shack location at woodwardsports.com or scan that QR code right there above.
Bro, free chicken and Detroit Lions tickets.
Those are two of my favorite things.
Hey, Shake Shack, man, that's what's up.
Get the chicken. You guys remember that Chappelle Show episode?
Yeah.
I hope that's okay to say.
No, it is. That's
Okay.
funny. The way you
Bro,
say it is so
I
funny.
almost said the wrong thing on here talking about Chappelle. Yeah, get us canceled. Can't do that.
Yeah. Well, do you have the voice to introduce? After
You know
we say
what?
thank you to
I
our
will
chat.
try it.
Thank you. I want to hear this.
Yeah, hey, chat family, as always, thank you guys for supporting us and starting your day with Wake Up Woodward, Michigan, newborn baby. It kind of zapped me this morning, but we're gonna try and do this. This intro right from Mr. JB Smooth. But first, chat family, smash that like button, and if you already have, encourage somebody else to do it as well. But it's time for the most electrifying segment in sports entertainment. If you smell what JB Smooth is cooking with what's trending, and I just lost my voice for the week.
Jay Business. What's up, fellas? All right, so I will try to make this quick because I do have something special planned for Broder
Oh, boy.
and some trivia, but I think it's unanimous, you guys. This was Dunk of the Year, right?
Oh, is this Anthony
Warren did not
Edwards?
score and only had one shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it.
John Collins. How does his nuts feel on your chin?
Ant-Man is looking at his hands like, did he just do that?
R.I.P. John.
No,
Collins.
No.
That's disrespectful. That's Brandon Knight. That's
worse.
That's worse than DeAndre Jordan on Brandon Knight.
That's like Timothy Mozgov level. I don't know if you remember the Blake Mozgov dunk. That's
Where he threw it in?
Yeah, and grabbed his head. It's similar to that.
One more time, please.
One more time.
Yeah. Oh my.
And by the way, he dislocated his finger. That's him looking at his hand.
Oh, that is? Oh.
They showed him reacting to his dunk at the end of the game.
Yeah, said it's the best dunk of his career.
Yeah, he had a pretty
I bet
awesome
it is.
reaction. But he said he couldn't even celebrate it in the moment because he had just dislocated his finger and was just kind of out of whack. That was nasty.
Bro, yeah, I got to
one more
see that
time,
one more time. One more again.
John
they
Collins
played in
needs to
slow-mo.
clean his forehead after that one. You can see what's about to be rested right on top.
So nasty.
Bro,
Oh,
it's how he grabs his face for me afterwards, too. Like, all over my face.
Yeah. Come here. What can you do about that, man?
Ant-Man, you a beast. You're
Future
just-
star.
No,
Current
absolutely.
star.
Oh, my word.
This is just nasty and disrespectful. But
How do you go
all
up
right.
from there?
Next up, I got to say, a man is out here hooping at the Virginia-Colorado State game.
Y'all check my dog out.
Oh, bro.
Check my dog out.
Oh, no. All right.
My
Next
boy
one more
hooping.
time.
Come
That boy
on,
hooping,
man.
man.
Come
Hit the
on,
backboard,
dog.
man.
You got to at least hit the backboard.
That
man.
boy is
The finger roll off the
hooping.
backboard.
Hooping.
Y'all check my dog out.
You can tell by the dribble. The dribble was the automatic indicator.
My
How
boy
does this get
hooping.
approved?
That
Like
boy
you
hooping,
share dress
man.
shoes and
Oh,
That
my
boy
gosh,
is
bro.
hooping. Y'all check my dog out.
I'll check my dog
Bruh.
out.
Dog out.
You got so these things, these promos. There needs to be some. What do you call it? Some selection, some requirements before. Even at the Lions game, shout out Lions. They put on a great show at Ford Field. I swear that little QB pass that they do at halftime or in between. How many games they have? 10 home games. 9 of the contestants couldn't even throw a football.
wow.
They had the mascot. They had Rory throwing it for them. Why?
That's crazy.
Hey, look, man, Pistons fans, they ain't got no problem with doing these types of things. They win money all the time doing this stuff.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben Wallace. Actually, I'm not going to go there.
Clearly, my man was in the military. Thank you for your service, but
Yeah.
do not do that again.
Thank you
Yes.
for your service, but please don't step out on that court again. All right. Finally, Broder, I have something for you over here. Since you want to go to the cookout,
I would love to.
I have some questions for you.
All right, let's
Wait, you got
rock.
cookout related questions?
Yeah, man.
Yep. Cookout related questions. Shout out to the card game that I own right here.
Oh boy.
Black Card
What is-
Revoked.
What is it called?
It is called Black Card Revoked.
I've heard of this game.
Yeah.
What am I getting myself into?
What are you getting yourself into? But it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna ask you some questions. They have multiple choice answers, and never fear, because you still have KG and Kool-Aid here as your lifeline.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Bring it. Oh, look at this. We got the two screens.
Are you ready? All right. First question. She was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, if you need the multiple choice answers, I will tell you them. If not, you can just say it off the bat.
Aretha Franklin?
You are correct.
Let's go, baby. 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Shout out, Broder.
Mm-hmm.
All right, foot in the door.
Start pouring that drink.
All right, next one. In the movie Friday, who did Debo knock out for asking about his bike?
Do I need the character's name in the movie or the real life name?
The character's name.
Okay, then I need this multiple choice.
All right, remember you still have KG and Kool-Aid for help as well too. So we have A, Craig, B, Easy, C, Stanley, or D, Red.
I am going to use one of the lifelines.
Go Kool-Aid on this. KG, Kool-Aid, you
I
are
get
up.
one of each?
Yep.
Easy, you want to step up before I choose?
Hey.
Should I pick you?
Hey.
All right, I'm going to use my Kool-Aid lifeline. I'm going to go A, Craig.
That is
incorrect.
incorrect.
Yeah, Craig is the most obvious incorrect answer.
It was correct.
It was D. I mean, what the last choice?
D, Red is the correct.
Red, yep.
Is the correct answer.
Does this game involve pulling a black card away from somebody?
I mean, you could, but there's still more. There's still more. All right. So next up, what was the call sign of the radio station that Martin Payne worked at?
I forgot.
I need that multiple choice.
Damn.
All right. So A, we got WHAT.
Nope.
B, WZUP.
Nope.
C, WHOT. Or D, WJUC.
I'm not going to use this lifeline yet. I'm going to go C, WHOT.
Yes. It's not.
That is incorrect. I am sorry.
It's what he was saying.
It's B.
B?
Was I?
WZUP.
Was I?
WZUP.
And that was
correct.
multiple choice B?
That was B.
I heard you say no, so I kind of cheated.
Yeah, well, once it registered, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was it. I
Bro.
had the rest of the options.
So basically, I'm 1 for 1, and these guys are 0 for 2.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I would have told you what's up, man. I had, hey, redemption.
You're right.
I will.
I'm 0 for 2.
Do we have a few more after this one? Maybe we'll take one more. We'll go to break. We'll finish this on the break on the way back.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go. Last one for this one. All right. What's the first line to the song Tootsie Roll?
Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll.
I have the.
Let me get that multiple choice.
Okay. A, cotton candy sweet and low.
Cotton candy sweet and low.
B, cotton candy sweet as gold. C, cotton candy sweetie go. Or D, cotton candy Swedish gold.
The last one was Swedish gold?
Yep.
What was C?
Cotton candy sweetie go.
Sweetie go?
Mm-hmm.
You don't look so confident over there, so I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay, I was about to say I help give it to you.
Oh, you do you know?
I believe I do.
I'm gonna call in the lifeline on this one.
Lifeline, all right.
I'm gonna call in. I think it's B. Is it not? That's not my choice. I'm prefacing it. What do you think?
I believe it's A.
I'm gonna go with A. Cotton candy, sweet and low. That Tootsie Roll.
You are both incorrect. I'm sorry.
Bro!
Wow, really?
Yes. It is actually C, cotton candy sweetie go.
It sounds like you say sweet
wow.
low.
I know it does, but still. Yep.
So am I 1 for 4?
Yep,
None of us are going to the barbecue.
Yeah, at this point.
Bro. All right, we're gonna finish this when we come back.
First two right.
9:54. We got a few more questions. We got to pay the bills. We got to talk about our sponsors. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. I need your help. I'm going to start using the chat a little bit more because they got some answers in here. I should have been watching you guys.
They all over the place too. So
that is true. Actually, I see ACB.
You're right.
I see them all. Will we start with Feldman?
Yeah, we got Feldman.
Let me tell you about Feldman. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Also, catch us there every other Monday at the Feldman dealership out in Novi. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
And you want to do our bracket challenge?
I would love to. Because you have the chance to win $50,000. It's the Woodward Sports 50K Bracket Buster Challenge, brought to you by Glorious Cannabis, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Register for your chance to win at any Lady Jane's or Soroki's location, or just scan the QR code right next to me. The shot clock is ticking. Register at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com, and you could be $50K richer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Their food's amazing. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. It's a perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York-style pizza, fresh salads, sides, and more. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's SAROKIS.com. Soroki's in Woodward Sports. That's crispy. Crispy. You got some crispy fried chicken at the barbecue?
Hey, yeah, of course.
And some hot sauce for me?
Definitely.
Some drummies and some flats?
Definitely. Yo, but
some peaks
the
and some
hot
cheeks?
sauce matters, right?
Of course.
It's got to be Frank's.
The hottest the better. Frank's is the best.
It's got to be Frank's. KG, Frank's. JB Smooth, Frank's.
You go Tabasco, Cholula. Yeah. I don't know. All right, I gotta get to the barbecue first before I start giving you ideas. We got a few more questions. We got 3 minutes left in the show. JB, fire away. See ya.
All right. Now, you still got KG and Kool-Aid as your lifeline once again since we came back from break. But this one.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll get the itis.
According to Tommy, what does GTD stand for on the sitcom Martin?
According to Tommy, what does GTD stand for on Martin? Give me the multiple choice. I think I know this. Give me the MC.
All right. A, get the dog. B, got them drooling. C, got the draws. Or D, grab the devil.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
What?
Language of origin?
No.
I'm going to go got them drooling. B.
That is incorrect. I am sorry.
Draws.
It is C.
Got them draws?
Got the draws.
Yeah, draws. Redemption.
Explain to me draws. Is that boxer briefs? Boxers? I want to learn it all.
Yes.
The noggin? Oh, the non. Oh.
Yeah. Redemption.
Got them draws. I'm closer. Thank you for that lesson. JB, next question.
All right. In his WB sitcom, what was the name of the hotel that Jamie Foxx worked in?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, the Foxhole, B, the King's Tower, C, Elwood Inn, or D, Fox Manor?
I'm calling in this lifeline. I don't know this.
Go down to I know it. Go down to multiple choice one more time. I got you for
My
your
dog.
lifeline.
All right. A, the Foxhole, B, the King's Tower, C, Elwood Inn, or D, Fox Manor.
It's B, Fox, the King's Tower.
King's Tower.
I'll go with B.
It's King's Tower.
You
Hands
are
down.
correct.
Let's
It is
go,
the King's
baby!
Tower.
Yes, sir.
That's 2. Shout out to ADIZ4112. I see you, B. George Eagle, B.
Yeah.
Tony D. D. I was thinking D. Side grade D. Charles Palmer. Love it. Couple more here.
All right.
Got 2.
Question. But he went double platinum with no features.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, just in general?
Yep.
Nas?
No.
Okay, give me that multiple choice. Pause.
Right. Is it A, Drake, B, J. Cole, C, Future, or D, 21 Savage?
You got your lifeline here.
I think it's not Drake. Oh. Did Drake have an early album without any features?
Bro, Drake started.
I'm going to
with
use it, and I think it's B, but I'm going to use it.
North Cackalack.
J. Cole?
North Cackalack, yeah. North Carolina.
No features on that album?
Let's go.
Yep.
J. Cole.
Forest Hills Drive.
Yep.
Platinum, no features.
Broder, you going with B?
I'm going with B. Didn't that anniversary just happen? The anniversary of the album in the last couple weeks? Shout out Rap Cave.
North Carolina's finest, bro.
Let's go. Shout out
correct.
DJ Reader and Ali McNeil.
B, J. Cole.
Yes. That's
Redemption.
3. Let's go, baby. 3.
You want one more?
Hey,
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go one more.
All right, one more. What did LL Cool J want his Around the Way girl to have?
Give me the multiple choice. I got this. I'm going to know this, I think.
All right.
A, diamond earrings. B, extensions in her hair. C, a Chanel bag. Or D, a big butt.
Jeez. And repeat the question again.
What did LL Cool J want his Around the Way girl to have?
D, big butt.
That is incorrect. I am sorry.
You really are a cheeks man.
I am. I sure am. I got that itis. But how is Around the Way not about the big butt? Booty had me like. What is the answer?
The correct answer is B, extensions in her hair.
Yeah.
What song was that in?
Around the Way girl.
Oh, in the Around the Way girl. And he calls for the extensions?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. It's fake. I don't like it. I want the real down low, or them draws.
You want some draws? We know
Cheeks
you
man
want the draws.
voter.
I think we have to revisit this game again. But
Yeah, absolutely.
As of right now, you're currently sitting at 3 wins.
This
I'll
should
take
be a
it.
segment. Ask Broder Black questions. I like that.
Yes.
This is a segment.
We got to come up with a creative title like that.
Yes.
We'll make this a recurring thing. Maybe not once every week, maybe every other week, maybe once a month. Something to help me just get closer and closer.
Yo,
to
you
the
know what?
cookout.
Summer's almost here as well. No, bro, man, you gonna be in the cookout, but
Yeah,
summer's
we
almost
co-sign.
here.
Earn it,
We're
though.
gonna have a barbecue. We're gonna have to actually do this thing.
Yeah. You have some lean?
We're gonna have to do this thing.
Some scissor? Put a little Jolly Rancher in there?
Don't
I
walk in
grew
the
up on
cookout
Lil
saying
Wayne.
that.
I grew up on the Carter. Hey, I'm a little cooler than I might look or might seem. Or does me saying that actually just cancel that all out?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. See, I'm learning. Thank you all for hanging with us today. Kool-Aid, do your best you can to take us out. Oh, here we go.
The test fast. Hey, you guys, thank you for supporting today. As always, Wake Up Woodward family, you guys are the biggest part of this platform. Why we get up and we do what we do, along with our starting 5 as well. Please hit that like button if you already have. Encourage somebody else to do the same. And we appreciate you guys. Definitely do. Beat this snow better than I did today. But I gotta make sure we shout out the squad. I saw Flannel Sam already walk in. He will be on Big D Energy today. Shout out to our vet on the squad and our illustrious, our elite booth,
The best.
Mr. JB Smooth, Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth.
Yes, sir.
Great job as always.
That's right, AC.
And hey, shout out to AC, Brothers Black Card. Hey, and we got Mr. KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, holding it down. It was great to have you on, as always, brother.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We got Mr. Matthew Broder over here. Thank you, first of all, for holding it down. Hey,
I got
he
you.
made sure to get those ad reads going for me as well. Thank you, bro.
We're a
Thank
team
you.
here, baby. We're a
Hey,
team.
we're a
Let's
team.
go.
Our Detroit Lions and Detroit Tigers credentialed beat writer and beat reporter. Shout out to our guests as well, Mr. Detroit News Rod Beard, sports editor-in-chief for the Detroit News, and I'm your boy, Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid.
And we
Thank you, people.
got Doc Macaroon coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
8:30.
that's
We
right.
got Doc Macaroon and Griffin Lackey joining us to talk Michigan State basketball.
And there's-
Thank you all for joining us. Again, finish us off. Shoot. Finish this show off, Kool-Aid. Golly.
Pause.
He just can't avoid it.
But it's your boy, credentialed beat writer and reporter for the Detroit Pistons. Thank you guys as always. Enjoy your day. Tap into Big D Energy as well. It's been Wake Up Woodward.